Thanks for tuning into Cigars, Liquor, and More as we join our buddies Bill.
Howdy.
And our other brother Daryl.
Smoke up, Johnny.
Chilling through 2022. Broadcasting from our studio speakeasy as they talk about cigars, liquor, and anything else that comes to mind.
All right. What? So we recorded two different intros. They're basically the same intro, but one word changes. Mm-hmm. So this one says chillin' in 2022, or chillin' through 2022.
I like that.
The other one says relaxin' through 2022.
Okay. I like chilling better.
So, well, the next two shows will be relaxing.
You just change it up.
Yeah, why not? It was one word change. You know, she wrote up
Is
the
that
thing.
the new color button, the white one?
White?
Yeah, the white button.
Oh, I don't know what the white is.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's not. Okay.
No, the white is white's one of the canned
okay.
audios that came with this unit.
Okay.
No, we
just never assigned it before.
No, well, I didn't clear it, I guess is what that is. Yeah, so when we did the recording for the audio, you know, I have the entire song from McLeod, and I had a 35-second snippet of the first 35 seconds of the song, and you know, because I wanted to experiment with what would it sound like if we had the song playing in the background, a very low volume, you know, while we talked, and
No.
yeah, it was okay, but
It was
kinda
too much.
Yeah.
You don't need elevator music going through the whole show.
Right, but it was interesting. There's a setting on here where you could do the thing on a loop, so you just hit the button and it just goes through a loop.
Okay.
And you know, when we played I did it while she was recording a couple of times, and you can hear, well, when the larger volume comes out, you know, to play for the intro, that completely masks the background music. And then when it goes away, you can kind of hear it, because I turned it down low enough that you just barely heard it. It was just barely there. It was interesting.
New form of noise reduction.
Yeah. It was interesting, but I didn't think that was something we should do for the show.
I concur.
But yeah, as we just sat here, you know, I had the music on the board, and then she was sitting in your chair and just had her audio up, and so I would hit the music so she would have something to go by, and then she would cut in and start saying stuff. It worked out really well.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about audio and video since we started doing this, not just podcasting.
So more than I thought I'd ever care to know.
No, I kind of did want to get into video and do some editing because, you know, you get all these videos, like family stuff and stuff like that, and a lot of times it's just wind going in the background. You're like, I don't want that. So I want to lay some audio down behind it, just some music or something that's not, you know, a wind tunnel destroying. You know, so I was doing some of that.
You learn about the mics, and you know, you get the fuzzy windscreens for the mics and all that stuff,
and the editing,
but you have to have a good base to start with, and getting a good mic, and getting a good windscreen for it. And things like this little foam thing that we have on there is good for the P's of the world, right? Because when you say P, if you don't have these little foam things and you're right next to it goes pop. You know, it's a big pop, and you don't want that. That's annoying. So, you learn these little bitty things, that the professionals have done for years. But it's amazing the difference that you get in, the quality of your audio from doing just a few minor things. And then you do something on the board, like this board. This board's really good. I really like this board. This is a Zoom P8, I think is what it is. And it's got settings on it. But the reason why Joya sounds so different on this intro is because I didn't change the settings from how I have them for you and me talking for the podcast.
Uh-huh.
I have our voice settings at a non-standard setting because from playing with it, from me and you talking for the show, I found that this, well, at least to my ears, sounds a lot better than without having it. But with her talking on it, doesn't sound quite right. But, things you do. Well, tell us what we are smoking and drinking today.
All right. This is the Warfighter. This is the Warfighter Field Robusto in a 5x52. Now, we have two different Warfighter Field Robustos today. I am smoking the 5.56 millimeter, which is what they call it. It's a name, not its dimension. It is a Connecticut shade Honduran wrapper, a Nicaraguan Habano binder, a Nicaraguan Omtepe Habano, Colombian, a Nicaraguan Condega Habano filler. MSRP is $8. You have the 7.62 millimeter, which is a Sumatra Indonesian wrapper.
Well, thank you.
A Nicaraguan Habano binder, and a Nicaraguan Esteli Habano, Nicaraguan Condega Habano filler, and Dominican.
Dominican Republic
in the filler as well. So I
Is
I
this,
accidentally picked up two different cigars when I bought them.
Is this one also an MSRP of around 8?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably taste a little bit different things, especially since I have the Honduran shade Connecticut wrapper and you have the Sumatra Indonesian wrapper.
Yeah, the binders are different.
They are.
The fillers are different as well.
Yes.
And the binder is the same. The fillers are different. The wrappers are different. So, yeah, but the fillers are all Nicaraguan for yours. And I've got the added benefit of having a DR filler. The Esteli Habano sounds really nice. Anyway.
With this, we have the Aberfeldy 12-year-old Highland single malt Scotch, bottled at 80 proof. It is $38.
A Scotch for $38.
Yep.
Can't go wrong, I guess.
Now, the cold draw, I was really getting a whole bunch of nothing. It was really mild, and it smacked of tobacco. So I didn't have a lot going on that. The Aberfeldy, it smells like a Scotch.
Yeah, it does smell like a Scotch, and you know me, I tolerate Scotches. But there's, I don't know, there's something a little extra that's not what you normally think of as Scotch. And it's almost I don't know, it's almost a pronounced woodiness.
It's a honey color, so it's not super dark. It's 12 years.
Most Scotches, I don't really get a woody flavor off of. Most of the Scotches I've had. Moss, peat, for the peaty Scotches. But...
Well, this is a Highland, so it's going to be mild.
It's not a peaty Scotch. It is pretty mild. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
What's the proof on it?
80.
80. Okay. Well, so you kind of expect that.
It's got some good legs. It's good looking in the glass.
It does not have a long finish. It's got a pretty short finish.
It does have a short finish, and yeah, it actually when I first tasted it, I didn't think it was Highland. I was thinking something else, but it's a Highland. It's mild.
I own not Highland.
No, I thought it was
Aren't
a
the
space
Highland Scotch mostly the peaty? Most of the peaty Scotches Highland Scotches?
I don't know. I don't know if you can say that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you know more about Scotches than I do.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can make that general statement. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know that the Highlands.
I know
and
there are
the
certain
space sides are pretty mild.
brands. There are certain brands that are known as peaty or mossy brands.
Oh, sure, like Lefroy,
Yeah.
which I keep ramming at you. You did like that quarter cask, though.
I did like the quarter cask, but I think the quarter cask had a very that one their own description of it I thought was pretty accurate because it was a great blend of a peat and a wood.
It really was. It was really good.
And enough of the woody flavor came out in it that I didn't not like it. Yeah, so as far as scotches go, that quarter cask I thought was really good, which is saying something.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah. And this one I get a woody flavor off of as well.
Yeah, a little woody. I get a little honey. I'm getting a little honey flavor. The Highlands are mild, and so you probably should like this one.
I like the lack of peat. It has a pronounced lack of peat.
Yes. It's soundly not peaty.
Yeah, this is, I know I'm going to offend Scotch drinkers everywhere, but this is almost like a really smooth, low bite, or practically no bite, Kentucky whiskey.
But, when you drink it, it's a Scotch.
Oh, yeah. It definitely has the Scotch flavor and aroma to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I like about this is, even though you've got that because the aroma of Scotch is particular, not particular, unique. So you when you sniff it, you understand that this is a Scotch. But with that, this has that note to it, but it's not bold and in your face. It's there, but it doesn't scream.
Yeah.
I'm going to Scotch it.
This is really mild.
And for Scotch, I'm all about that. And it's got a good cork pop.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to think about this Warfighter for a bit. So let's not talk about that just right off, because there's some thinking I got to do on this one.
Okay. Well, we wouldn't be the podcast we are if we didn't talk about science every once in a while.
Oh wait,
And in this case,
before you get
technology.
into that,
Okay.
before you get into that, Betty White passed away.
Yeah. Oh, did you see People Screw Up?
No.
People magazine put her 100th birthday on the cover.
She didn't make it.
No.
She was like 3 weeks short or something.
No, days.
Oh, days.
Yeah, but they went to print already. They went to print, and it was out. And oops.
That's a Dewey cover right there.
Yeah, it is. Dewey wins. Oh, wait a minute. Shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, who doesn't love Betty White?
That was what's amazing.
She was
her
awesome.
universal acceptedness was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loved her.
Yes.
That was kind of weird.
Have you Have you seen the outtakes of stuff where she messes up and she cusses at herself?
No, I have not.
Fucking awesome.
No, I haven't.
Fucking awesome. Betty White was
I used
the
to
best.
love the Carol Burnett show, though. Oh my god.
Well,
Mama's Family was okay, but I wasn't the Carol Burnett show.
No. Golden Girls.
Yes, Golden Girls, of course.
Right. That's where in her older years, that's where she really
shined. Yeah.
Yeah. And her character on Golden Girls.
She was great.
Yeah. And that quick wit and that soft I gotcha, that's Betty White.
Yeah, she's just great.
They had to have written that character for her.
Oh, I don't doubt that they had the cast in mind before they even made the show.
Yeah, what was that guy, that late night guy, Ferguson? Like a
The
British
Brit-
guy?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson?
She was on there quite a bit. I went through a thing where I looked up
Craig Ferguson
Betty
phase?
White on YouTube. Because
Okay.
I like Betty White. Now, I never saw the Alligator movie, but I did see the commercials for the Alligator movie. Lake Placid?
That sounds right.
And they had her lines on the
I'm
commercials.
rooting for the alligator.
Yeah, because now the wife saw it, and the wife says, "Oh, yeah, the Betty White lines were the best lines in that movie. The rest of the movie was complete crap."
Oh, it was terrible.
But
I watched
yeah.
about half of it.
And I love the commercials for it. I never saw it, but I love the commercials because Betty White, and she's been around a 99 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, but she's been in the TV and movie industry for a long time. Long time.
Oh, yeah.
So, wow.
A shame.
Yeah. We lost a good one there. But, I mean, and everybody loved Betty White. All across the spectrum. You talk about race, you talk about politics, you talk about age.
That was amazing. Kids knew her.
She covered the gamut. Everybody loved Betty White.
Yeah.
But another one we lost recently as well is we watched the thing on him.
Oh, Madden. That was great.
Yeah, John Madden.
That was a really good special.
We watched the special on Christmas Day. It's awesome special.
It was.
And who doesn't love John Madden?
Yeah.
He made football broadcasting what it is today.
He was beloved.
Yeah. I mean, he was really the first one that brought you insight into the game.
Yeah, that's norm now. That's why they keep hiring quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, so one of the Tony Romo, when they brought Tony Romo on, the great thing about Tony Romo, he had the Madden
He's
thing.
better naked.
where he would break down the play, which is one of the things John Madden was great at. Yeah. Anyway. On to other things.
Are you gonna check out your flavor wheel, and I will briefly mention some stuff from CES. So CES is big, right? Consumer electronics, big show.
Yeah, Consumer Electronics Show.
Did I say computer or did I say consumer?
I think you say consumer.
Oh,
but,
good.
Yeah, but they have not gone. What I thought was interesting is they have not gone by the full name in 20 years.
Oh, everybody knows CES.
Yeah, it's all just CES. Even in their literature, it's just CES. They haven't in their literature and promos. They haven't gone by Consumer Electronics Show for 20 odd years. So I mean, and that's
big.
That's saying something.
It's big. It is ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
So you've highlighted a couple things, and actually my favorite I'm going to jump to right away.
Okay.
This is the first time a tractor has appeared in CES. So John Deere, so they've had self-steering tractors for a while. They have tractors that will monitor how much grain you're pulling out of the field in specific, GPS locations. And then you take that information and you give it to your fertilizer, and then it changes the amount of fertilizer that you put in the field for the next planting because it was unbalanced for the previous year. They've been high tech for a while, okay?
And they do it by specific area based upon your GPS tracking.
Right. So these tractors have had auto steering and GPS tracking for years. But this one's completely automated.
So when we went to your father-in-law's place, your in-laws' place in Illinois. We went with them when they were harvesting harvesting wheat around the cornfields, and I got up into the cab with the guy running the harvester, and it on its display, it had that specific field. It had demarked just the wheat, and then inside the demarcation of the wheat, it had tracks that the tractor should follow. It wasn't automated for steering. You still had to steer it, but you steered it along those tracks.
Right. It gave you a dot to follow.
Yeah, and the idea is that it would optimize your usage of the tractor for your harvesting. So you ran the tractor according to the path that it gave you,
right?
And you
Save
would
fuel,
get the best fuel economy. You would get the most grain in a load, things like that, which I thought was amazing at the time. And me and that guy must have talked for an hour just on that stuff. It was awesome. The dust cloud that comes up from it is horrendous and blocked me up like crazy. But that's the way it goes.
Yep.
The nice thing is when you're in the cabin, you're insulated from all that because it's all glassed in. It's got air conditioning and heating, and that's just awesome. Anyway, but this is a completely automated system. Yeah, and can be run from a phone app.
Yeah, everything's run from a phone app.
Fucking awesome.
Well, your phone is a very high-end computer now, so why not?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a very nice portable computer. So that is super cool. We've got the in-person in Vegas as well as online. You can pick up the blog at wired.com. They highlighted the Panasonic and Steam come together to create compact VR glasses. Now, I think I looked at these. Do you remember price point on these?
No, I do not remember price point, but I did put an image of it.
Yes.
On your sheet, and those are freaking awesome looking glasses because they're not
small.
They're not the big, huge VR glasses that you have like in the Oculus and whatnot, or that you put your phone in. They're individual eyes, and they look like the
Glacier glasses.
Yes, they look exactly like that.
For those who grew up in the 80s, those glasses with the side shields that wrapped around your ears, they look a lot like that. They look like steampunk. Mm-hmm. But they're a little bit more advanced than steampunk.
And and by doing all this, they have cut the weight dramatically.
Oh, it definitely looks like they're much lighter.
So you're not now. The things wrap around the back of your head,
right?
Because you're going to be looking around, and all the weight's in the front,
right? So they'd fall off if they didn't do that.
Yeah. So they do that, but
it's cool.
The weight of the Oculus versus the weight of this, dramatic change, super nice. New, up and coming for. Wow.
We should cover the flavors.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, this is definitely on the mild side. This is a mild cigar. And strong ash. I went to ash it, and it said no, so I let it go.
That's funny. My ash fell on my book.
But this is a very basic entry point cigar. This is a mild. It's just smacks of tobacco. This is still just woody and real basic. Not a lot of flavor profile. It's mostly woody, honestly.
So on this one, which is the 762, I get a little bit of earth, a little bit of toast, a little bit of nut.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I wouldn't put it as mild. I put it more of as a medium.
Uh-huh.
And it's bursting with flavors.
Nice.
It's a very nice cigar. I'm really enjoying this.
I'm liking it with this whiskey.
It is going pretty fast.
Yeah, same here.
But I mean, we're halfway through already.
Yeah.
It's time for a show break. So maybe it's not going that fast. It's just my perception. But that's what I'm getting so far off of this. I really haven't had it with the liquor, so I can't say much about that right now. Let's take a little break.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Enjoy the any time of the day cigar. Drunk Chicken cigars are nub-alicious. So good you'll smoke it to a nub. You can get 10% off your order at drunkchickencigars.com by using the promo code CLM2020.
All right. We have a winner, right?
So we do have a winner. The last show is what we were supposed to announce a winner, but first show of the year, we kind of neglected some things. So this episode, we're going to announce our winner, and it is Victor Figueroa, Figueroa. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm sure I did because I'm bad with names. But congratulations, Victor. You just won 2 Drunk Chicken cigars, CLM swag, and who knows what else you might get free in the mail. Reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to get that out to you. Or more to the point, Daryl will be more than happy to get that out to you. For everyone else, be sure to go to our website, cigarsliquorandmore.com, LIQUOR. Cigarsliquorandmore.com, and there's a little sign-up button thing for the drawing. Sign up. Get free cigars in the mail. Come on. Just by clicking on a link. So do that, and we'll get that out to you. Also, we're on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram as much as I probably should be.
Same.
But, we got Cigars, Liquor, More on Instagram.
We've been busy. It's a busy season.
Yeah. I'm Bill. My own is Bill CLM. Daryl's is Cigar Daryl. And, of course, there's Facebook. At Cigars, Liquor, and More. Okay. So, all right. Now that we're done with all that.
Actually, this cigar is bringing the honey out more in the whiskey. I'm kind of liking that. Because it is a pretty mild cigar. And I'm glad I paired up a pretty mild whiskey with this because I was expecting that. Maybe your cigar might have benefited from a little bit stronger Scotch, but the Highlands are pretty mild. So
I'm good with the mild Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to get in a bit more with the comparison of the cigar with the liquor. So I'll pipe up on that a little bit later.
Okay.
So CES takes place the first week of January. So it is very early in the year. Happens right nice. Happens right at the very beginning of the year. So that's great because it gives people a chance to showcase things for the year. And then later on, as it gets close to Christmas time, third quarter, they'll come out with stuff for Christmas and do that in a more commercialized fashion. One of the things I find interesting about CES is they are both a trade show and a consumer show rolled into one.
Yep.
So the first 2 days, it's a week-long event. The first 2 days are media. So all media that deals with technology and consumer electronics They have just them with the vendors going through all the presentations and all the products and things like that. And then the last 3 days, anybody who's bought a ticket can come in and go through some of this stuff. So it's an interesting show, specifically for that reason, because you've got the two sides of it. So for those that don't know, generally what happens, I mean, be it electronics, be it guns, cigars, things like this. You've got the industry types, which we are now a part of for cigars and liquor. You got the industry types that go in and, they're looking at, what's coming out, what's going on, what's going to happen. And you get all your information, and then that gives you information to write about and talk about and video about for, the next few months.
It is pretty cool
Right.
that it's sort of integrated,
Mm-hmm.
the two together. I think that makes it unique, but
It's, yeah. So, the stuff that's being presented in CES this week, you'll be hearing about for the next few months, if not longer, right? SHOT Show is another one. That's the big one for the gun industry. And you'll get the media folks that go into SHOT Show, and they'll gather information and they will talk about that for months. And it's good because it helps the industry as a whole. But there are specific advantages for the manufacturer, specific advantages for the consumer. For the consumer, by the time the products come to market, you get a really good idea of what the product is. For the manufacturer, they get to showcase and sell to a larger audience than they otherwise would be able to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these events exist. For the cigar industry, you have PCA and you have TPE that are for those types of things. And it's great. It's nice. I mean, that's where we first learned about the Bluetooth, or not the Bluetooth, the
chips
RFID
that Sensia's putting
in the band. And new products coming out. So it's I don't know. It's useful.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the things in here are kind of crazy. One of the nice things about CES is you not only get products that are going to come out, but you also get concept products. It's one of the cool things about going to a car show, right? Because you get not only the next model year car, but you also get concepts.
Right.
Right, and the concepts drive what are some form or fashion of what's going to be in a production vehicle. Right, same thing with CES. You get concepts of items that are eventually going to, in some form or fashion, be in a production item.
Yeah.
So, and in that vein, we'll cover next the Bmw Ix Flow. So they had a prototype of their color-changing body panels.
That's pretty cool.
I will, on the website, when I post the website for this show, I will put in a link to a YouTube video, or I'll put in a YouTube video that is BMW's showcase of this. It's awesome. The entire car changes color. It is live.
I feel like it's going to be featured in a heist movie soon.
Yeah. Or Fast and Furious.
You go around the corner and now you come back out as a different
You change color and the
Yes.
license plate flips.
Right. Right.
Because that's the one thing that those have always missed, right? You got James Bond that goes down and does all this shoot 'em up stuff with his car, and then the license plate flips. Well, it's still the same car, it's still the same color.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of gray Aston Martins you got to sort through to figure out which one's him.
Exactly.
So if you can change your guy, actually the most powerful thing isn't on a BMW iX, because there's not going to be a lot of those out there either. You put that on an Accord, and you're never going to be found again. You have an Accord that changes colors, and you'd be like, I don't know, it was a guy in a car.
Yeah, but just like an airbag, I mean, airbags were pretty few and far between way back when.
Yeah.
And now they're everywhere,
Or even
in
just-
every part of your cab.
Go back even further. Go back to power windows. Remember when they were an option?
Oh, hell.
It's not even an option to have a crank window anymore.
Hell, air conditioning.
Air conditioning, another one. It's on everything. It's not an option. Stick, manual. No, you have to.
People that
special
drove
order stick.
down from the north to move to live into the south had a problem selling their vehicles because they didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And they were all rusted. I mean, that's really cool. I do like that one a lot.
The video is freaking awesome, and it is live. They didn't just talk about the concept; they built it.
What's that add-on? That's a dealer add-on,
Oh,
right?
no
How
doubt
much
there.
is that? And when you hit that panel, how much is that to replace?
No kidding there.
I wonder if you get it scratched in a parking lot.
Hey,
Like, what does it do? Like, what's up with that? Like, if it gets scratched, does that panel no longer change colors and just goes black?
maybe
Like,
it's
what
like
happens?
maybe it's like an LCD and just those pixels don't work.
I got a dead spot in my panel.
Yeah, who knows?
If it can change colors to, it's probably just one thing, but eventually you're gonna have scrolling words on it like a billboard, right?
Oh yeah, instant advertising.
Yeah.
You want to advertise on my vehicle? Give me a call. I'll set it up through my computer.
I'll just upload it.
I'm sorry, my phone app.
Right. I'll just upload it through Apple CarPlay. That would be cool.
Let's see, TLC.
TCL.
TCL, sorry.
Not the group.
Sorry. TCL TVs are going to give you the option of having Android or Roku OS on the TV.
I don't feel like that's a huge improvement.
There is no other TV on the market that gives you the option on what OS you're going to use.
I don't really care.
If you don't have, if all your stuff is geared towards Roku, but you buy a TV that is Android, you have to buy an add-on to get Roku to work on it.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Having the option, you can now buy or have installed the OS in which you use. I think that's great. I think that's
coolish.
awesome because you have given another piece of flexibility to the consumer that they don't have now. Let's see. Oh, Samsung TVs are now going to support NFT. We've talked about NFT.
Yes.
Non-fungible tokens. They're now going to support NFT art. So through the TV, you're going to be able to buy, sell, and display your NFT.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. I put this one on here. This next one I put on here for you. The Moon Bike is an electric snowmobile.
Right.
And you can see the picture of it, and I'll put the picture on the website.
It looks like an ATV that happens to be a snowmobile.
It looks like a robot. Is what it looks like.
It's a much smaller form than the existing snowmobiles you see now.
I got to tell you, now, I've never been on a snowmobile. I've never driven a snowmobile. This snowmobile looks somewhat comfortable. This does not.
The other thing
It looks pretty blocky.
I'm concerned about is snowmobiles. I don't know what the battery life's going to be like on the snowmobile, but when you make things cold, battery life goes down. And if you make it really, really cold, battery life goes to shit. So I don't see this. This is not something that I think is going to be adopted very quickly.
It will probably take some time.
Battery life is going to have to be double what it is now for it to really function in that cold of a weather. I wonder how
but
well Teslas
batteries-
work in Minnesota.
But battery technology is increasing.
It has to. It has to.
Sony, a couple of
A
years
well-known
ago,
vehicle manufacturer.
yeah, Sony a couple of years ago at CES came up with a concept for their own SUV. Well, now they've come up with the second version of that prototype, and they're seriously talking about doing production of it. An all-electric, sorry, I didn't mention that before.
Electric
An
SUV.
all-electric SUV
By Sony.
by
It's
Sony.
just a weird entry, isn't it? It's,
So you can take your Sony SUV to buy your Sony TV.
right. What's funny is if you rewound a few years and you said, who are the big camera manufacturers? You'd get like, oh, Canon, Nikon, Leica. You're not gonna say Sony.
Only
Sony
from the mind of Minolta.
very much less so, Minolta. But you
Now, but back
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
you were saying back then.
yeah. But if you go now and you ask photographers, oh, what's your body? What body did you buy? A lot more of them are saying Sony. They made a high-end body, so they're branching out into other areas.
Sony was one of the first viable commercial electric cameras, digital cameras.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
the
did-
the Mavica
and
was
they did
a 3.5
really
inch
well.
floppy one that was 1.2 megapixels because that's pretty much 4 pictures on a 3.5 inch floppy.
They did very well.
The Mavica was a gorgeous camera for a digital camera.
We've already talked about the next one. That's the John Deere self-driving tractor controlled by a phone app. NVIDIA is going to come out with cheaper, high-end graphic cards.
Yeah. Okay, great. You made a manufacturing improvement. Things always get cheaper, so that doesn't quite impress me until I know what that price is. Is it going to be back down to $200?
I don't know the
Yeah.
article. Well, what I perused through was the Wired live blog, Wired.com live blog, and they for things on there they did not list prices. As more articles come out, they will be
Sure.
more specific, and they will have
Yeah, that
price
was in the
points attached to
details.
it. Yeah,
I think a high-end video card right now is probably $1,600. Decent ones are $4,000 to $8,000. So unless you're talking about something landmark like, oh no,
but if you
our
can get
next
what is
model,
now a $1,200 video card for $600.
that would be landmark. I
Yes.
want to know how much they're going to theoretically decrease it.
What I think they're after is more market share.
Of course.
By doing this, they would get that. And in the even though their margin might suffer at the beginning for those, in the end, if they capture the market share,
They will.
It's not gonna
NVIDIA
matter.
is already one of two high-end.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I mean, you got ATI, you got NVIDIA, period. That's it.
yeah, but keep in mind, a lot of NVIDIA are done for like Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of them are just GPUs.
Right, so they're not
for
used
mining.
as
video cards. Right.
Yeah, they're not used as video.
But those aren't sold as video cards. They're sold as GPUs. So that's different.
They are now.
Yeah, that's different.
It's not how they started. But it's, I mean, that has the possibility of ushering in a bunch of lower cost units with higher quality.
It'll also push all the other manufacturers to decrease their prices.
Yes.
So, all the others being ATI. So I used to be a dedicated ATI person, and now I'm a dedicated NVIDIA person. So ATI used to be the cheaper of the two. It was maybe slightly slower, but definitely cheaper. But then they kind of came to par. Like NVIDIA was dropping their prices and being higher performer. So I went to NVIDIA. So if they could do this again, they would lock in the market share. They would kill ATI.
Yeah,
If it was landmark.
and in that category, market share is everything.
When there's two of you, yeah. Yeah, I do like that. So the Mercedes-Benz Vision Eqx is an electric that is supposed to get 620 miles between charges. So that would be big.
It is important to note that so far there is no outside confirmation
Right.
of this mileage yet. But that,
I don't think they'd say it if they weren't close.
Yeah. But that is huge in the EV world. Okay. So going to the cigar, I have the 762, and it's changed a little bit as I started having more of the Scotch. It's changed a little bit. The toasty has gone down, and the nut has gone down. But it is still a very good cigar. It's still solidly a medium. I'm really enjoying this cigar, and at $8 a stick, I mean, come on. The Scotch, okay,
It's a Scotch.
It's a Scotch, but it is a mild Scotch, and for me, I'd much rather have a mild Scotch than not. The aroma, still, I get that woody flavor off the aroma whenever I take a sip and I breathe in. And I like that extra woody aroma mixed in with the Scotch aroma. I really do.
Good.
That's me. As far as how they go together, since I've been drinking and smoking more together, as far as how they go, maybe some of the loss of the toasted nut has come from the liquor. Maybe not. I'm not entirely sure, but I kind of like them together. Nowhere near a primo pairing, but pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. I like the woody in the Scotch. Give me more woody Scotches. I will drink more Scotch if I can get more wood. No, that doesn't sound right.
It does. That's a true statement right there. This guy has remained a solidly mild cigar. What I kind of like about it is it's thoughtless. Like, its burn has been perfect. Its draw is perfect. With all the talking, it hasn't threatened to go out on me. A lot of them threaten to go out on you as we talk.
Yep.
Because we talk a lot. This one hasn't. I've not had to correct it or relight it or anything during the cast. I like that it brings out more honey in the Scotch. But it's a mild. It's a mild, but it does have, so it's a weird combination of mild. So it's a mild that has more of a medium to bold mouth coating. So it's a mild smoke.
Interesting.
But it coats the mouth. If I stop drinking the Scotch, it will leave a film, or whatever you want to call it.
Coating.
It'll leave a coating pretty quickly. And that just makes it a little bit more woody, because all I've gotten out of this has been wood. This is just a woody cigar. But I like that it's been reliable, right? It's not trying to go out on me when I'm talking. And we do a lot of that in cigar lounges, don't we?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a good smoke.
So one of the things we probably should have done for this show, considering you have a 5.56 and I have a 7.62, is we should have talked about the 5.56 and the 7.62. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the 7.62 they are talking about is the 308 equivalent, not the AK equivalent.
Probably.
Right. That's just me, because I'd rather have the 308 equivalent. But that's just me. One final entry that I put down for CES is the LG Omnipod. So LG, another, Life's Good, a Korean company, South Korean company that puts out all kinds of consumer
It's not a
electronics.
North Korean company.
Go figure. So the Omnipod is an autonomous vehicle that is a pod that can serve as a mobile office, as a workout area, anything that you want.
That drives.
Yeah, and they have LG large screen TV in there,
Of course.
with an avatar that greets you.
Now, this vehicle looks a lot like the little buses that I saw. What was the country that I said? We did it on a show. We mentioned it, that everything was automated. Like, you did everything through your phone or computer.
Yeah, it wasn't Estonia. It was like Latvia or something. It
Yeah.
was something crazy.
So in watching that documentary, they had their buses that were literally hollow shells of cars. They didn't look like there was anything in the car. It looked like a box that drove around. I mean, it was buses, but it was small like this. It looked just like this. This may already be operational in Estonia or whatever
Latvia or
whatever that country was. I think it was Estonia. Estonia sounds right.
It sounds.
I'm gonna have to go back to the, but I think that's what it was. But this looks like what they had as their busing system. So this may be operational, and it looked really cool. I mean, it pulled over, stopped, people got on, it took off. I don't know if it said mind the gap or whatever. I don't know. Doors are closing, whatever it did. I couldn't hear it in the documentary. But this looks just like what they were using as buses. And I think that's where we've gapped in this country. Put more small buses out there so that they're more convenient and come more frequently. You don't have to fill a bus every time it drives by, every 40 minutes. Have a tiny little thing like this come by every 10, and people might start using them.
If it's autonomous, much easier to do.
Yeah.
If you have a driver in each one of them, costs get too high,
That's true. That's true.
right?
But this could be the new future of busing.
But
is tons of tiny little automated guys.
Understand, we also have unions that we have to get by to do things like this.
Don't worry. As we've seen in the taxi industry, we can crush a union.
Toll roads.
Toll roads?
Yeah, in the north, not all toll roads now, but in the north, you still have toll roads that are manned by people.
Oh.
There is almost nowhere in the south that has a toll road manned by people. What's the difference?
Unions?
Ding.
Okay. You think that's it?
Is that the only reason? It's probably not the only reason, but I bet you it's the primary reason.
Actually, there's a really great argument for automating them up north where it's friggin' cold.
When a union can stop Boeing from building a plant, or technically finishing a plant, in a southern state, because you're going from a union state to a non-union state, yeah, I'd say there's some sway there.
Yeah, I guess so. This would be the future if you wanted busing to work in a city. Because I remember I used to have to wait 45 minutes to get my layover between the Chippewa Crestwood and the Kings Highway bus. At 45 minutes. Now, bear in mind, this drive is 15 minutes from I had to take it to high school over the summer because I was doing work to pay for my high school. I went to a private high school, and I did work study where I worked to pay for it. And over the summer, you did most of your hours because you're not in school.
Yeah.
So I had to take two buses. I had to wait 45 minutes for that bus, and my total trip was about an hour and 15 minutes. Do you know how long the drive is? 15 minutes. So this is if you really want the poor to benefit and get better lives, get them off the bus and to their destination faster. And I think
Better
if you had more frequent buses that were smaller and more frequent, so that a few people could get going and not be waiting and then fill a bus. And sometimes wait for the next bus.
It works well for companies like the parking spot, Hertz, where you're at the airport and you take this smaller bus to get to where you need to go.
Right. Run more of them.
Yeah.
Run more of them more frequently.
Yeah.
I think this...
And shorter...
This would be awesome.
Shorter links for the buses.
So I think the requirement would drive... The need would drive the usage, even through unions.
We need to wrap this up because our video's about to die.
All right.
Go for it.
I like this cigar. It's a mild, not normally up my alley, but I think it went really well with mild Scotch. So if you like the mild Scotches, especially the Highlands, maybe the Space Sides, I think you'd like a mild cigar like this to go with it.
This cigar is a medium. It goes really well with this mild Scotch, and I like the wood on the Scotch.
Nice.
I feel better.
Heck yeah.